Welcome, everybody. We are here today with another special guest for our Leadership for Change talks. And as always, I'm asking him, what's your name, surname, and where you're from?
Good morning, Irene. It's a pleasure being here with you. My name is Alejandro Abad. I'm from Madrid, Spain.
What is your job?
I'm actually working right now for the European Food Safety Authority in Parma, Italy. It's one of the 47 agencies working for the European Union. We are basically assessing the risk of food materials, food ingredients, both for animals and humans. What I'm doing specifically in the unit is more related to project management, change management, trying to make everything smoother and more effective. The public institutions, usually they are seen as a big giant elephant not moving. I was surprised that they are actually having these projects and they want to develop new ways of working, new ways of approaching problems. You are more effective in the institution, you are more effective for the public, and this makes sense in terms of working as a public leader, as a public servant.
How did you get to this job? Because the reason of those interviews is to inspire the next generation and to discover also different and new paths for work. I know that you had a very interesting journey, so can you please share it with us?
Yes, absolutely. I'm coming from a different background. I studied law and political sciences. Just before finishing my studies, I was hired by a big consultancy company. I was working as a legal and tax advisor, but I always had this need of doing something meaningful for the society, to have this social impact somehow. At some point, I realized, okay, it's enough. I think I learned enough where I am at the moment. So what's the next step? My passion is being a public servant, and I feel that I want to work for the public sector. Everyone has this feeling that it's a big elephant, really bureaucratic. And I was like, okay, let's take the challenge. Let's see if this is really as it is, and you cannot do anything and you cannot change anything, or you can actually build a path, this idea of trying to create something else within the public sector. So then I talked with one of my professors back in university. She's an amazing woman. She was at the time working in the US, doing really interesting stuff about climate change. She told me, look, there is this program that is called Mastering Public Administration, which is a really unknown program. The idea of the Master in Public Administration is basically, let's say, an MBA for the public administrators, people that want to work for the public sector, not just governments, but also international organizations like the UN, the European Union. Then I found this really nice program in Milan, in Bocconi University. And then I went there. Of course, I'm coming from Spain, so Italy is like a cousin in some ways. Many times in life, it's not about programming and having your perfect schedule about every single step. For me, at least in my case, big things and important things were always chance by talking with people, by this network. Sometimes it's also a matter of luck. Yeah. So this opportunity pop up, the opportunity to go to this formative contract with the EFSA, the European Food Safety Authority, and I went for it. And I was really lucky, I have to say, because every year there are thousands of applicants. And I also was really lucky to end up in the team that I'm in, especially because sometimes when you want to go through changes, but you don't know how to do it, you need to trust your team. You need to trust people that are working with you and just go with the flow. Things will end up connecting somehow. I found amazing teammates and an amazing boss, and they really trust me from day one, and I could explore a lot. The challenge is huge because trying to introduce changes in huge bureaucratic machinery as a big organization like the European Union is. It's a huge challenge, but I also have this feeling that if no one tries, if no one just try to push the boundaries, someone has to do it. We always have these stories of big entrepreneurs that are willing to go through huge challenges, but you don't see the stories of people trying to break these walls on these huge bureaucratic things that had a huge impact in our lives. This is the foundation of our societies, actually.
I like this parallel that you are saying. Based on this, I want to ask you, because you use this word several times, public servant. Can you please define the public servant, what you intend for it?
Public servant for me, and this is of course my own perspective, it has to improve society as a whole. It's like a huge team feeling, need of achieving goals all together. Need is, for me, it's the opposite of what we can define as the public servant. Tries everyone shining somehow, everyone improving, everyone as a society creating something, everyone building something together. I cannot do anything as an individual if the society doesn't provide basic support opportunity. I can, as an individual, achieve some goals, but I always thought that as a team, as a whole, we can always be one step further. So why to just accept 2 in the scale of 10 if I can reach a 5, a 6, a 7, working all together? Because I'm achieving things as an individual, but at the same time, I'm helping others to achieve their goals. And
I have another question for you. So what would you say is the comparison between public servant and a leader?
I think the public servant is somehow always a leader, because you are by definition working for other people. You need to have some degree of leadership in what you're doing. A leader is not always someone that is on top of the pyramid. You can be a leader in your daily life and the work that you're performing and everything that you're doing. So public servant and leadership, for me, it's always interconnected.
Very interesting. I've been working for the public because I was elected a member of my town. And yes, you serve the public, but you lose touch with the background, doing the daily stuff that most of the time are stuck with the bureaucracy. And so you just look at the bureaucracy and how slowly things move instead of thinking that you can actually change.
Some things that you mentioned are still stuck in my head. Sometimes it's also about thinking about the foundations and what is everything made of, meaning that the public sector is a human invention, because something it's working in a certain way and it was following this path for, I don't know, centuries. We all somehow have this idea of the heroes of the stories. There is someone that is really disruptive. It changed everything from one day to the other. And then I was reflecting on that and realized that many changes that we saw in our societies are the sum of many small changes. And many of them are made by anonymous people, people that just want to have a say in their daily job. They have an idea, they have a small goal, but it's just enough to move the stone. And these anonymous people, I think they are the real game changers, the real one, the ones that really allow societies to evolve, to develop.
We are talking about leadership and impact and change. It seems that through what you are saying, the public servant is a leader. Based on that, how would you define the change that he should be able to create?
That's a good question. Very good one, actually. Change for me, it's progress. You have to have progressive mind and willing to improve always. And change, it's for me equals to improvement. And as I said, huge changes are not made by huge disruptive ideas in the public sector. So in that sense, you have to embed the feeling or the idea of change in your daily life. For me, change is not about one day. It's something that you have inside. The impact, it's in your daily work, in your daily life. The concept of change, it's embedded in your way of talking, in your way of working, in your way of doing things, in your personal life.
A journey to improvement.
Exactly. It's not a light that you turn on.
It is a mindset.
It's something that you have and you can build.
I would like to know, what is your vision for the future?
I think we are living a really tense moment. We all know any crisis, any moment, any difficult time, it's a catalyst, or it gives you the opportunity to change, to improve. There is this tension where I see a big push from certain sectors, especially the political sector, where they are pushing people towards not really healthy idea that we all thought that was part of the past. Governments are trying to, again, build walls between each other. There is a lack of understanding. And then there is a generation, my generation, that I think it's somehow left behind. We had to leave the financial crisis in 2008. That was a huge hit. Then the pandemic strikes. So we're in that moment that if we don't really take action, and of course we need leaders and people willing to go through changes, then we can fall in a really dark place, I would say, as a society. We see a lot of fake news, a lot of manipulation, a lot of people trying to create fear into society. They are breaking also ties between each other. If we work together as a society, collectively, there is room for optimism. I really think that there are people that are actually willing to go, and it's not that we have to wait for a leader, the individual that is going to save us. That's also what I'm trying to break, this idea. You can actually take action in your daily life, but if we don't realize the power of society, the power of the collective thought, I think we're going to miss an opportunity. And
it's always in the machinery of the bureaucracy of the public sector. It can be disruptive, and not always people that are there wants to do it.
I really like this concept, because this is something I also learned a couple of years ago, that change is always difficult because we are human. We need some certainty. We choose a path, we are driving, we are on the wheel, we are controlling the situation. So uncertainty is always something that is really annoying. And then change means that you always need to destroy part of what you already built. So that's why it's really sometimes difficult, and it goes against human nature somehow. Really scary, at least for me. And it's the cost of opportunity, the cost of not changing. What's the cost of not doing anything?
I really enjoyed our conversation. Hopefully we can have a nice dinner on the Navigli soon.
Absolutely. I always remember this dinner. It was really nice. And then you ask for a glass of whiskey, smoked whiskey, delicious. And I always remember that the moment. It was really nice. We were having also really nice conversation about these things, about life in general. I really enjoyed it. Thank you very much.